My roommate has been telling everyone I'm the reason her boyfriend left her. I became a homewrecker without ever touching anyone's boyfriend. My roommate Kira has always needed to come out on top. If I mentioned a guy was cute, she would have his number by midnight. When she started dating Owen, he seemed fine, but then started texting me jokes and I kept my replies short. One weekend while Kira was visiting her parents, Owen showed up saying he forgot his charger. I let him in to grab it, but instead he sat on the couch and patted the seat next to him. I told him to find his charger and leave. He walked toward me slowly and said, "You know you're prettier than her, right?" Then he tried to kiss me. I shoved him back and told him to get out. His face changed from embarrassed to angry. He stopped at the door and said, "You're going to want to keep this between us. Trust me." I spent the next few days trying to find the right moment to tell Kira, but she kept talking about how happy she was with him. Then our friend Juno invited us to her birthday dinner, and Kira said she would meet me there. I walked into the restaurant and spotted our table in the back corner. I headed over expecting the usual chaos, but nobody was talking. I reached the table and 8 faces turned toward me at once, and not a single one was smiling. Then I saw him. Owen was sitting right next to Kira with his arm around her shoulder. She must have brought him. My whole body went cold. Kira looked up at me with swollen red eyes. Owen showed me the texts on his phone. "All those messages you sent him." Then he told me what you did while I was gone. What I did? Owen shook his head slowly, like it pained him to even look at me. He pulled out his phone and turned it toward the table. "She's been texting me for months telling me to leave Kira. Look at this one." He showed a text that said, "She doesn't deserve you. When are you going to realize that?" I had never sent that in my life. That's fake. I never wrote that. Owen kept scrolling. And this one where she begged me to come over while Kira was gone. And when I got there to tell her to stop, she tried to kiss me. "You showed up and tried to kiss me. I shoved you off." I pulled out my phone to show them his texts, but Kira slammed her hand on the table. "He told me you would say that. He told me you would try to flip it around and show fake screenshots." One friend shook her head. "Pathetic." Another laughed. "Always knew you were jealous." I turned to Juno. We had been close since freshman year. "Juno, you know me. I would never do this." She looked up and her eyes were cold. "I defended you for years when people said you were fake. I guess they were right." Kira stood up and looked at me like I was a stranger. "I trusted you more than anyone. I told you everything. And this whole time you were trying to steal my boyfriend." "He's lying, Kira. Check my phone. Check my actual texts. There's nothing there because I never sent him anything." Owen shook his head and looked at Kira. "This is exactly why I didn't want to tell you. I knew she would make a scene." The table nodded along like everything he said made perfect sense. I looked around for anyone who might believe me, but they were all staring at me like I was the villain. Kira grabbed her glass of wine and stepped toward me. Her hands were shaking. "You're disgusting." She tilted the glass and poured it slowly down the front of my dress. The cold liquid soaked through and dripped onto my shoes. A woman at the next table gasped. I looked at Owen sitting there with his arm around Kira watching me get destroyed, and I saw the smallest smile at the corner of his mouth. He told Kira his version before I ever had the chance to tell mine, and now, nothing I said would ever matter. Kira grabbed her purse and walked out with Owen right behind her. One by one, everyone followed. Juno stopped at the door and turned around. "Lose my number." I stood there alone, soaked in wine, while an entire restaurant of strangers watched me fall apart. I moved out while Kira was at work. She is still with Owen. He still texts me when she is not around.